Permission to place the court ad hoc vice pro se application. Under Executive Order 13652, Executive Order 13658, Executive Order 11538, questionable parabula begins in Executive Order 17317 and 2900163 and the CFR Code of Federal Regulation. Mile indemnity clause is on 4v 3 Mile Island, DTE v. Cook, Lopez v. the U.S., Trump v. the Water Resource Board, Hawaii v. Trump, and New York Pistol and Rifle at DTE, and BP v. Enbridge in view of Applebaum v. 3 Mile Island. And standard application, we're defining the Defense Production Act and standard plutonium enrichment standards compared to molybdenum at the time of the 45th administration in view of pinpoint application of magna chloride and the uses of our satellite technology. And developmental coefficient at times targeted applications and foreign powers to tectonic plate shift. It is using missiles at nuclear power plants or rare earth metal assessment. UN Order 8226, 8315, 8228 identifies Civil UN Order 3, Civil UN Order 8, and compliant applications of the NEIEA under Trump with NCAP compares Secretary with the U.S. at the time of LLN. NYSE is in a coffee Iowa, and we are defining time efficiency standards. Based on the Russian interaction, the Kosovo model assessment is released by the granting Solicitor General state to the two other general. When there's Putin's administration, Samuel's question of the use of a nuclear warhead. Model assessment, OpenSQL validity is time dependent and coefficient application of the Orion project research. The has a model assessment 125,000 micron moves 7.9 to 7.2 and validity assessment. Operation Tesla Turk 51826 is defined in command efficiency standards. In Bureau of Communication, you are asking that if Shanghai Mumbai is talked about and confirmed based on Finnish Slovenian, that we will have questions in Ivana's tape and French, Chinese, Japanese, and cross-reference to the New Hampshire, Iowa primary at the time of the election model. Model assessment, 6th and 7th nuclear warhead, Mumbai, Shanghai bombing, 3-week time frame. Applicable use, SARS meningitis, use of nuclear warhead during cold fission states. Model assessment, we begin with parabula interaction analysis with applied game theory, where Chesney is identified open impeachment based on Military Procedure Code of Conduct 42917 in the view of CFR 5, in the view of CFR 7.8 under flood assessment, viral meningitis, uses of nuclear weapon, plutonium, interest rate, COVID assessment, viral bronchitis, and application of the SARS-CoV virus and savors of repenting hits and murders based on tuberculosis, and applying it in plutonium research. I justify trillium, Europe, access, palladium, medium, niobium, lanthanum, urate, uric white blood cell count based on bone model and height weight analysis across populational studies. A co-founded mu application of chromium hyperbolas. And date assessment, these would be showing the exact date rare earth power plants have earthquakes with a geographical location Tulsa, Oklahoma is not real. And flesh-eating bacteria type of the SB2 assessment is a qualifiable risk assessment based on a single pathogen. Questionable hyperbula begins to be game assessment and new targeted moves with 7 secretaries in challenge under Boyer v. Thayer based on the Miriam Minovich and Nicholas III dating date wonderment. In view of Wales gang combat boy failure by the South Sudan and the Gabanian means that we have military procedure in the Mar-a-Lago number 1113.8 and 2 and quantum model. We exhibit executive order based on quantum index. Funyun 43 CSVA missile series shows the capability to justify thermite design. Applicational particle analysis. First assessment. Next assessment indicates the qualifiable ability for weapon diffusion. Syrian cyanide mixed with a uranium assessment justifies hyperthermite probability analysis. Selenium pentriethylhexanickel oxide, carbon pentahexamononite, lanthanum pentatoxinoxyurate, and hexanophene, the lanthanum pentahexatritium, urapentahexaboramine, selenium pentaradon as ammonia hexanophene, justify hyperbula cause analysis based on plutonium enrichment standards. Developmental coefficient, argument target, the defined Secretary Wolf v. the U.S. The presidents are disabled, and FCC v. McConnell to not see statehood. In 58 years, this country has not identified that to territorial expressions in the Senate. All the Secretary request of Ted Lieu as ambassador is not able to be seen as original ambassador or executive order. No appellate court has seen that at present. For the model analysis indication, UN procedure code of conduct, civil military bylaw NEA procedure is now identified in view of requestment. Targeted application. We exemplify applicational model attainability. Defense Contracting OMB 0645-123 Divisional Assessment Analysis. In application of selenium pentatriethylnickel oxide, nihonium pentahexanickel hexanophene, polonium nickel ammonia, and marble applications of gypsum. The lanthanum cyanide is a hyperobtuse and trillium tungsten urate based on hexanophene justifying arsenal exposures and radiated gallium or magnum tungsten. We define our weapon coefficient based on kilometer a mile. Vladimir Putin invoked 2 new Secretary Generals and the rank of Deputy Prime Minister in view of the territories based on procedure code of conduct, and our request of name of it validated by the United States government to both of them has not been addressed. They will probably be presenting on behalf of the Russians at the UN in probably the next 30 days. This will be a